Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. Employer brutally beats employees over a 300 kwacha. A LUSAKA lawyer sues the state to clarify Electoral Commission of Zambia power. Join me with the Midday News in detail after this commercial.
Giving birth to my firstborn son was a challenge, not because of maternal complications, but because the health center was so far away. Today, the newly built health center is only meters away. So with my second-born, it was so much easier. As a mother, access to antenatal and postnatal health care is a priority. That is why I commend the PF government for bringing quality health care near our homes.
May I please have one beer and 2 glasses?
Do you have champagne? Yes.
Hold that thought. No champagne just for the month. You know we gotta keep on texting R to 9595.
I'm sick and tired of this R9595.
You stand a chance of your lifetime to win a brand new 2020 Range Rover Evoque when you text R to 9595. From as little as 5 kwacha, you get 1 entry. 10 kwacha for 3 entries, and 20 kwacha will give you a whopping 7 entries. There will also be consolation prizes up for grabs. That's great news, right? Competition runs from 12th of May to 31st of August 2021 and is only open to Zamtel subscribers. Terms and conditions apply.
Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. Mutendera residents have called on the LUSAKA City Council to address the growing indiscriminate waste disposal in the area. LUSAKA generates about 1 million tons of waste annually, 2,700 tons per day, but only half of this is taken to the designated dump sites. Speaking to Camnet TV in LUSAKA, in a telephone interview, residents have called on the locals to be dumping the waste at the designated dump site.
One of LUSAKA City Council's objectives of encouraging people to take keen interest in the implementation of the Keep Zambia Clean campaign since 2007, most people tend not to adhere to the aim but rather choose to ignore and do quite the opposite despite the campaign. In Mutende constituency of LUSAKA, several residents have called on LUSAKA City Council and other local residents to control the constant littering of garbage.
Kurina chimoto gachina ngucha orange na cheve chimabwera mwiki uzapeze gati muntu ata mabini pari ponse andi wamewa ata si wamewa bari pafuki na manyumba bachoka samwe because wamewa na botaja 04 natabira samwe yo kunikutari nayo pa kumupisha sinizio tsembe ko uruma moto ya kanso ya litachema moto yake iba uvitenga because muntu ni muntu moto wangati yafa ero maripira pe bamubotenga mu weekend bamubera every Friday.
The residents say it is depressing at the level at which members of the public throw litter just besides Mutendere New Secondary School wall fence.
Atiyamba mvula tima stop kimabwera kwa save na mazi tima kinana mnyamata uje wa muja tekambo fikiri na vite tikutura mabini viende bapo batayira hapo usiku hapo batuma abantu tukasitayira na mabini pamena hapa osa manyumba alipo mkapita hapa mzapeza tuvaika mtuma plastic batayira pamena hapa mabini bademuona hivi.
They have disclosed that this has made the area unstable.
This thing you see here, this is the actual site where people are supposed to be dumping their garbages. Now we find that those people who don't want to be paying a certain amount which they are charging, those are the ones who are dumping cabbages anywhere, everywhere around this school. So we don't know the council how they can help us.
Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News, LUSAKA.
A charcoal seller of Mutendere compound has allegedly brutally beaten 3 of her workers to death for losing a 300 kwacha. The suspect, Milika Kachingwe, 70, is said to have picked 3 workers in the early hours of yesterday and locked them in her house for beating upon the discovery of 300 kwacha shortfall from Shako sellers. Victims have been identified as Edward Zimba, 18, Moses Mumba, and Christopher Katongo, who were later taken to Mtendere Clinic by sympathizers for further checkups because of severe internal injuries. A complaint was later submitted at Mtendere Police Post.
He has been lying on this wheelbarrow since morning. He can hardly walk or talk. Moses Mumba of Mtendere compound is one of the 3 victims who were allegedly beaten in the early hours of Monday, July 19, 2021. It is said the 3 victims are Chako sellers who were locked by their employer for a brutal beating over a 300 kwacha loss. The suspect, Milika Kachingwe, 70 of age, allegedly picked the victims to her house at around 04 a.m. Among the victims, Edward Zimba, 18, recounts of what transpired.
ise ndirama inasoba ise so na so wama ndiye pamesezi wacha understand wako batitenga batipeleka kunyumba kwao bezi batipeleka kunyumba kwao kuza ise petafika che wapo wambochosa mansimbi machani batumira foni bana bao benango already nishiwenango bali kudala munyu ise kufika pa nyumba bamene paja ndiye mwenze tambi kumenyewa manje kumenyewa na mansimbi zibambilira uyu mufana bamumenya naye ne manje nambukunga apo bandomenya na winangu walitona kumungamba nawo manje yaso etizambo ngala bwanja so edandaula kuli tezomenyewa na mansimbi chija chipaipi chija chonse namabemba yonse wezibarachocha kutiweza kufunana kutipaya.
One of the sympathizers, whose identity is off record, condemns the act. The suspect is currently in custody at Mtendere Police Post. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, Lusaka.
In other news, printing of the presidential, mayoral council chairperson and parliamentary candidates in the forthcoming Zambian general elections in Dubai has reached 100%, while the remaining councillor ballots are at 79% according to the non-governmental gender organization Coordinating Council, NGOCC. In a statement, organization executive director and civil society representative Ms. Ingwase Mwale says this is according to a briefing by the Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ to the monitoring team. She adds that the importance of a free and fair election cannot be overemphasized in a democratic country like Zambia, and the organization therefore takes observing of the ballot paper printing with the seriousness it deserves. Zambia will on the 12th of August 2021 conduct general elections.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia has today, 19th July 2021, updated the monitoring team here in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, that the printing of the forthcoming elections ballot papers is progressing according to schedule. So far, the presidential, mayoral, and council chairperson, and also parliamentary printing is at 100% done, and the remaining local government councillor ballots stand at 79% complete. The process has yet brought to the fore the urgent need for constitutional reforms with regard to the electoral process, such as circumstances surrounding fresh nominations after the demise or indeed withdrawal of any of the validly nominated candidates. It is our expectation that the leadership that will be ushered into office after the 12th August 2021 polls We will prioritize these reforms through a broad-based consultative process that will focus on enhancing Zambia's electoral laws, in addition to addressing other lacunas in the 2016 amended constitution.
A LUSAKA lawyer, Michael Mtwena, has sued the state seeking a declaration that the Electoral Commission of Zambia has no powers to cancel or postpone a presidential or parliamentary election under a general election. In this matter, Mr. Mtwena has cited the Attorney General as the respondent and wants the court's interpretation to the constitutional provision under which circumstance an election can be cancelled. The Electoral Commission of Zambia recently called for fresh nominations in these constituencies, namely Mandevu, Lusaka Central and Chawama, following the death, resignation and withdrawal of candidates in the respective areas.
Recently, debates had emerged following the decision by the Electoral Commission of Zambia to cancel 3 parliamentary nominations in Mandevu, Lusaka Central and Chawama. This decision by the Commission to call for fresh nominations for eligible candidates was done following the death of Zambian United for Sustainable Development Party candidate in Mandevu, the resignation of an independent candidate in Lusaka Central, and withdrawal from Leadership Movement Party candidate in Chawama. Now, a Lusaka lawyer, Michael Mutwani, has petitioned the Constitutional Court seeking an interpretation from the court if the Commission has the powers to cancel or postpone a presidential or parliamentary election under a general election. Mr. Mtwena, in his petition, has cited the Attorney General as the respondent. According to the originating summons filed in the Constitutional Court, the petitioner seeks a declaration that pursuant to Article 52(6) of the Constitution, ECZ only has powers to cancel or postpone a standalone presidential election as provided for in Article 1065 and 1058, or parliamentary by-election and local government by-election has provided for in Article 57, and that all elections held under a general elections are not amenable to cancellation or postponement by the Commission. Mr. Mtwena also seeks a declaration that ECZ with respect to general elections only has the obligation and power to cancel nominations where there is death, resignation or disqualification of a candidate after close of nomination, and that they are further constitutionally obligated to hold fresh nominations and maintain the date of such general elections as set out in the Constitution for all elections that are supposed to be held under general elections. He is further seeking a declaration that a vacant seat or office of MP, mayor, council, chairperson or councillor occasioned by the expiration of the term of office and dissolution of Parliament or Council pursuant to Article 72(1), 83(1) and 3 and 157(1) is fundamentally different from a vacant seat as defined in Article 72(2) and Article 157(2). Mr. Mtwena wants the Constitutional Court to interpret constitutional provision that relate to the matter and the circumstance under which an election may be cancelled. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. Employer brutally beats employees over a 300 kwacha. A LUSAKA lawyer sues the state to clarify the Electoral Commission of Zambia powers. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Remember to always mask up, avoid crowded places, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. COVID is real. Stay safe. Good afternoon.